The click you just made to open this crossed an ocean and came back before you could blink. It felt like nothing. You touched a screen, and a moment later something appeared. Instant, weightless, wireless. But almost none of that is true. That request did not float through the air to a cloud. It traveled as light down a real wire, under a real ocean, to a real building on the other side of the world, and all the way back in a fraction of a second. So let's follow it. One tap all the way out to the machine that answered it, and back again, step by step on the map. By the end, you will never call the internet wireless again. Start where you are, the phone in your hand or the laptop on your desk. When you tap that link, your device builds a tiny message, a request, and it needs to hand it off to the outside world. The very first hop is the one part that really is wireless, and it is tiny. Your phone talks to the box on your wall, your Wi-Fi router, over radio waves that travel maybe a few meters across the room. And that is where wireless ends, almost always. At that little box, the signal drops onto a wire. Your router hands the request to your modem, and your modem pushes it out of your home entirely onto a cable running under your street. So the internet, for you, begins as a wire leaving your house. Everything after this point is physical: glass, copper, steel, and light. Now your request is out on the street, and it joins a much bigger system. That cable from your house runs to a box down the road, and from there into your internet provider, your ISP, the company that actually connects you to the rest of the world. Think of them as your on-ramp. Inside the ISP, your little request merges with the traffic of an entire neighborhood, then an entire city, all funneling onto fatter and fatter lines. This is where the real material of the internet appears. Bundles of fiber optic cable, hair-thin threads of glass, buried under the roads. And your request is no longer really a message anymore. It has been chopped into small numbered pieces called packets, each one stamped with where it came from and where it needs to go, like thousands of tiny envelopes all addressed to the same place. They will travel separately and be reassembled at the other end. Your ISP's job now is simple to say and hard to do. Get these packets pointed in the right direction, up out of your region, and toward wherever in the world your destination actually lives. But your ISP does not own the whole internet. Nobody does. It is thousands of separate networks that have agreed to carry each other's traffic. So the packets have to cross from one network to another. They do that in specific physical places called internet exchange points. Picture a plain building in a city where dozens of different networks all run their cables into the same room and connect. No cloud, just racks of equipment and a lot of blinking fiber, where the internet is quite literally wired together. At each step, machines called routers read the address on every packet and make a fast decision. Not the whole route, just the best next hop this way toward the destination. Packet by packet, hop by hop, the route is figured out on the fly. And one quiet step happens first. The site you want has a name, but networks only understand numbers. So the internet looks that name up in a kind of global phone book, swaps it for an address, and only then does the routing begin. Now your packets know where they are going, and for a huge share of the world's destinations, getting there means one thing: going to sea. This is the part almost no one pictures, and it is the heart of the whole story. Your packets race along long-haul fiber across the country until they reach the coast, and a building most people have never heard of, a cable landing station, quiet, low, often unmarked. And out of it, running down the beach and into the water, is a cable. Because here is the thing that changes how you see the internet forever. The oceans are laced with them. There are more than 500 of these submarine cables lying on the seafloor right now, and the number's always changing as new ones are laid. Together they run well over 1 million kilometers, enough to wrap the planet many times over. And they are not huge. In the deep ocean, where nothing can reach them, a cable carrying a continent's worth of traffic is about as thick as a garden hose. Inside are a few strands of glass, thinner than a hair, and your packets travel through them as pulses of light, moving at roughly 2/3 the speed of light itself. These cables are the real internet. By common industry estimates, close to 99% of all the data that crosses between continents goes through them. Not satellites, not the air. Cables on the bottom of the sea, laid by ships that spend months unspooling them across thousands of kilometers of open ocean. So watch what your request actually does. It reaches the coast, drops into the water, and one amber line traces all the way across an entire ocean in a fraction of a second to a landing station on another continent. Your packets come ashore on the far side of the ocean, but they are not there to see the country. They are looking for one specific machine. They travel inland across another network until they arrive at a data center. And a data center is not a metaphor. It is an enormous building, sometimes the size of several warehouses, filled with row after row of computers called servers, humming in cold air, day and night. Somewhere in that building is the server that holds the thing you asked for. The page, the video, the message. Your packets arrive, are reassembled back into your original request, and that server does its job. It gathers the answer, breaks it into fresh packets of its own, and sends them back. This is where the cloud actually lives, not in the sky. In buildings like this, in specific towns, drawing real power, cooled by real machines, staffed by real people. The cloud is just someone's computer in a building that you could in principle drive to. And now the whole thing runs in reverse. The answer, in its own little packets, retraces almost the entire journey. Out of the data center, back to the coast, back into the undersea cable, back across the ocean as light. It lands on your continent, climbs back down through the exchange points, into your ISP, onto your street, into your home, to your router, and across the last few meters of air to the device in your hand. And every one of those steps, out and back, an entire round trip across the planet, happened in the time it takes to blink. Tens of milliseconds. The only reason it is not instant is that even light needs time to cross an ocean twice. That is the whole route, close. Out to one machine on another continent and back to your hand on the same physical road. So here is the full journey, lit end to end. It started as a tap in your hand. It left your home as light in a wire, merged into your ISP, and crossed from network to network in a room full of cables. It raced to the coast, dropped into the ocean, and crossed the seafloor to another continent. It found one server in one building that sent the answer back down the same physical road in milliseconds. There is no cloud. There is no magic. The internet is one of the largest, most physical machines humanity has ever built. Most of it lying silently on the bottom of the sea, and it runs this errand for you thousands of times a day without you ever seeing a single wire. That is the pattern behind almost everything you touch. Your power, your water, your coffee, your internet. Each one is the quiet end of a system that stretches much further than it looks. So the next time something loads on your screen and feels like nothing, remember what just happened. Your click crossed an ocean and came home before you could blink. This is Veyor, where we trace how the modern world actually reaches you. If you want to see the next everyday thing pulled apart on the map, subscribe, and we will follow the next one together.